Hey everyone, Luke here. I'm back to give you a closer look at these UV liquid tempered glass screen protectors for the S10 and the S10 Plus that work with their in-display fingerprint scanners. Now I've come up with a method that really takes the worry and the guesswork out of this installation process. If you can manage to follow the steps that are outlined in this video, you'll be able to save some money without compromising the protection on your new device. So anyways, take some time, watch the video all the way through, clear your space, prep your materials, and enjoy. So now this is what came with the package I bought. Once again, glass, screen cleaning kit, extra alcohol, glue, no lamp. If you buy the lamp, the one that I link will look like this. It's got folding legs, looks a lot like the Whitestone version. And for that reason, it's really superior. The light has 6 different lights. It cures quickly. Some of the other ones can look like this, where the switch breaks off and you can't, it's useless. So you guys just listen to that bit of advice. So basically, what you're going to get inside of this is going to be typical screen cleaning accessories. So screen protector installation accessories, I guess. So you're going to get like a small microfiber alcohol pad, a couple stickers. I don't feel like the guide stickers are useful. The one thing I wish these kits included was a more foolproof way to cover the speaker grill. I will say on this phone, that would be your main thing. So that being said, there are no instructions here, guys, and I've kind of figured out my own way to install these. I'm not responsible for any damage that happens to your device or anything that happens if you pour glue in the holes or something like that. I'm just putting this video together to try and help people that are interested in this method and looking to save a little bit of money. This is going to get you there. If you follow it carefully and you're paying attention to your phone when you're doing the installation, you'll be fine. So some of the additional things I suggest using are painter's tape or masking tape to cover these ports. Most importantly, it's going to be your speaker port. And secondly, I also use it to cover around the buttons, the bottom of the phone, basically anywhere the glue could get in. One of the main issues you're going to have with these third-party protectors from China is that they give you a lot of glue and it's not properly measured. So through my trial and error, I figured out that you need about, for the S10 version, you need about 40 drops of glue from this container once you break off the tip. So that's coming from the tip of this pipette. Now you can open this up and pour it out that way. I find it harder to measure accurately. So for the point of being accurate, I'm going to use these tips as that's going to be the most consistent measuring point. And that will basically, once again, equal out to about 40 drops on the S10. And I believe the S10 Plus is going to be closer to 60. Now that I'm not sure about, but I believe, once again, I know that for sure the S10 is about 40 drops. So what you're going to want to do is prep your screen like you would with any other installation. I suggest doing your installations in a steam room, like a bathroom. Turn on your warm water in your shower, let it run for about 30 seconds until you can just feel the mist in the room, just enough to weigh down all the particulate that ends up getting on your display and ruining your installation. So that's why I do them in the bathroom normally. For the purpose of filming, that's not the best, so I'm going to be doing this one at my table, and there may be artifacts that end up under this installation, but for the point of the video, this is the best place to do it. But for you guys, I'd recommend the bathroom. So once again, thoroughly clean, make sure there's no dust, however you guys like to do that. I don't typically use dust absorbent stickers or guide stickers with these UV installations because they really kind of float on top of the liquid while it disperses to the edges, and you're just kind of sitting there making sure that it's in the right place until that glue has settled. And it can take a minute to 2 minutes sometimes, and that's going to basically just get you there. So bear with me while I go ahead and do the cleaning and the tape off, the mask off with the tape, and then I will kind of give you a close-up of what that looks like once the tape is there and we're ready to put the glue and glass on this phone. Okay, so the best way to cover the speaker grill is going to be to cut a piece of tape that's as wide as the speaker grill, and then once you get to the tip, go ahead and cut down these sides at a similar angle to the grill is cut at. And you may have to do this a couple times to get it right, so just be patient until you can get that lined up. And you're going to want to really just make sure, like I said, you got that entire speaker grill covered, but you're not sticking out too far down the screen with the tape or too far to either side of the speaker grill, because that will cause a problem. So I kind of get it down in there, and there you go. I don't know if you guys can see that real well. I will try to get a close-up of that, but once you have that there, and I'm confident, you just got to press it down in there and make sure that basically you can feel that it is sealed up against the grill. The adhesive isn't going to bother the grill when you pull it off from the tape, so the tape isn't going to leave anything there. So you can press that on there. Just be confident that it is, you know, secure. There's not going to be a ton of extra glue if you do follow this method closely, so you shouldn't really even have an issue there. It may not ever even come up. Like I said, this is precautionary stuff, guys. You guys can kind of choose what you want to do and don't want to do. But for me, brand new phone, I'm going to take the precaution. So alright guys, so the tape's in place, the screen is pretty much clean. I'm going to go ahead and give it one final wipe down here before we start the glue process. Now in general, you want to try to keep your phone about as level as you can. I'm going to be applying about 40 drops of glue. Keep this pretty much dead center if you can. Alright, so that's about 40 drops, and as you can see, I've already got something on the screen. Go ahead and wipe that off. Alright, so now we've got the glass. This glass has a protective lining. Peel that off. Go ahead and try to place this down pretty much level, and then I usually try to let the bottom end sink while holding the top for about 5 seconds. Drop the top, and then basically what your job is going to be is just to guide the protector as much as you can. Make sure it's positioned in the right place for when you're ready to put the UV light on and dry that glue. Now this process can take about a minute. I'm going to speed it up. So one of the things that you can do if you're having an issue with the glue spreading, and in this case it may just be that there's not quite enough. Now I do think it's going to spread out. Once again, it's just taking a little bit longer for the glue to reach some of the other areas of the phone. So you just got to be patient during this part of the procedure. Wait for that to get in place. Alright, so at this point, I basically will go ahead and go around the phone and just kind of make sure there's not any globs of glue that have kind of come off, because there usually will be one or two. Try to absorb around the outside. So just to basically avoid the hassle of cleaning this stuff up once it's hardened. I try to take any visible glue off before I use the UV. You do have to be careful if you're going to do this because you can shift the glass or cause another issue during the installation. So basically at this point I feel like it's good enough for me for the point of this video, at least. Like I said, I think if I was doing this in my normal situation it'd be a little bit better. But basically we're going to go ahead and cure. You can do this basically any way. You're going to want to start for about 20 seconds on each side. So I usually actually start for about 10 seconds in the center. Try to push that glue outwards is my guess. Maybe let that dry. Then I go around kind of down. For about 20 seconds. Once again, this is just a preliminary curing. You can do this again afterwards if you need to. So at that point, basically, you should be pretty much cured all the way through. Now, I usually go around and basically just look at the device, get an idea of if there was a lot of extra glue. In this case, it looks pretty much like the exact right amount of glue. Now you're going to see the glass is up on the edges a little bit, making it case friendly. Not quite around the corner perfectly, but that's once again to make it a little bit case friendly. Now this is not going to work with all cases, but I do have some pretty protective cases and it's worked really well. So once again, I feel like that's a pretty good curing. Not too many issues with extra glue. I'll go ahead and do another few seconds here just to make sure it's nice and adhered to the screen. All right, so I'm pretty confident that that is enough light. This thing is, these lights are different. Sometimes they have a timer to them. Now we'll go ahead and take off the glue, or take off the tape. Now as you can see, it really was precautionary. No glue came anywhere near these ports. I know I said that repeatedly, and some people may or may not believe that, but if you put on the whole tube of glue, you will have a problem where it will flow over and get into your ports. So that's why I started doing this, because they don't send any directions and it's a third-party product and they give you too much glue. So this is the one thing I've learned. This is why I'm making this channel. So anyways, guys, this is kind of just, I'll probably forward through this. Get all this tape back off. All right, so there we go. Tape is off. Go ahead and take this cloth and wipe down real well. Kind of get an idea of what it looks like here on screen. Now guys, that's a pretty clean install considering it's not the way I normally do it. Being outside of the bathroom, but I'd say that turned out pretty well. Once again, the screen cutout does not exist around the camera lens like it does with the Whitestone glass. So that's proof once again, this is not a Whitestone protector. You can see that. Guys, I apologize for this camera because I am in between places, workspaces at the moment, so I don't really have my setup. But you can see the edge of the glass there, and that is the protector. Obviously, you just saw this whole one-piece shot here. So that's cured, that's on there. Let's go ahead and power up the phone and show you that it does work with the fingerprint reader. I had to go ahead and rotate the camera to get the shot that I wanted. I apologize for that. So we just got the phone booted back up. We are going to go into the biometric security settings and add a new fingerprint. That is what is suggested by both Whitestone and the manufacturer of this glass. So let's do that. Down here in the biometrics, fingerprint settings. So we will go ahead and add a new fingerprint. Get a full scan. All right, fingerprint has been added. So now we can see fingerprint 1. So that's the one we just added. It was put on the phone after the screen protector was installed. Let's go ahead and check the fingerprints, and this will give us an idea. Great. So you're seeing right there basically that we're getting that response on fingerprint 1. So the one that we just added in is actually giving a good response. No issues there at all. So let me go ahead and show you back at the lock screen. All right, so here we are, and it's done. So this is honestly, this is a much better experience than I had with the film that came stock on this phone. I'm not sure exactly why that is, but for me, this works 100% better. It is really a great screen protector that works very well with the S10, S10 Plus, and their ultrasonic fingerprint. All right, so we just finished up, and I hope that that helps answer any questions that you might have about these protectors. If there's anything you think of, leave it down in the comments. I will do my best to get back to you quickly. Please remember to like and subscribe to the channel. I'll be bringing more tech tips, reviews, and more to this channel in the near future. Anyways, guys, thanks for tuning in. Take care.